Ow! Ooh! Oh, how about that? How about that? Pretty crunchy, bit crunchy. It's the same as it always is, I guess. But that being said, it's crunchy. What's up? What up, gang? What up, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? Who am I? Who's that? How you doing? How you doing? Hey, Rachel, how you doing? Monica, how you doing? Ross, I don't care how you doing. Who's that? You know who that is? It's Joey from Friends. Pretty killer impression, I think. In case you don't know who this is your boy. It's old Sam Stiglmeyer back at it again, coming in hot, recording a goofy little podcast for your ears and your ears only, and everybody else's ears that you want to share it with, because that doesn't go unnoticed. The content creators in my world love when you share their work. So if you're feeling like it, go ahead, pop it a share. I'm not gonna ask again. I mean, I will at the end of the episode, but that's just smart business, I think. So yeah, we're back. It's November. I like to call it Yes-vember, but that's just because I'm an optimist. Big month, not as big as October in my opinion, but Nov isn't too bad. You've got Thanksgiving Eve, which is an all right holiday if you're into seeing your high school buddies. Is Arbor Day in November? That wouldn't make any sense. I don't know why I'm thinking about Arbor Day. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about Arbor Day because Johnny Pemberton has a very funny bit about Arbor Day. I don't know. He's talking to this lady from Oregon. Oh, should I backtrack again? Get a little more background? Okay. What up, y'all? I saw this comic. Johnny Pemberton has a podcast. Live to Tape is what it's called, with Johnny Pemberton. I saw him live. It was last weekend. It was the Friday after. No. Oh, man, it must have been 2 weeks ago already. Anyway, saw him live. It was super funny. Just listened to his most recent album. It is a collection of him calling different businesses and just kind of asking questions with their customer service reps. I listened to it at work. It was extremely funny. But a lot of the time I would hear a phone ring, which was on the album, and I would think I was accidentally pocket dialing someone. So a bit nerve-wracking. I recommend giving it a listen, but don't get too spooked out when you think you're calling people out of your pocket. Oh man, seeing that comedy show was one of the funniest things I've ever been at. I mean, definitely top 3 comedy shows in my lifetime. I would probably put number 1 when I saw Rory Scovel on my birthday. Number 2, it might be Johnny Pemberton. It's tough because I didn't see that with friends. I saw it on a date and the girl hated it, so I couldn't really talk about how funny it was and ruminate on it because she absolutely hated it. So safe to say we're not going on a third date. But yeah, I would say first funniest show, Rory Scovel on my birthday. The day before I started this podcast, or the day after, I don't remember. Second, I'm going to go UCB that's Upright Citizens Brigade. I was in Los Angeles with a couple homies last summer, and we went and saw an Upright Citizens Brigade show, and we were lucky enough to see John Gabris perform, who's one of my all-time favorite podcast hosts and guests and improvisers, so seeing him live was amazing. And then seeing Betsy Sodero live was also awesome. She's hilarious. Oh, and that was so funny. And then seeing Johnny was a blast. So those are probably my top 3 comedy shows. But yeah, Johnny was great. You know, he has a joke about Arbor Day. We don't need to get too much into that. I hung out with Johnny's not like a super famous comic by any means. He's a young guy from Rochester. I went to college with his younger sister, and we used to hang out a bit our freshman year in Duluth. But then we both went our separate ways, different colleges after that. But she's the one who turned me on to John and his comedy. You'd know him from Superstore. He plays Bo in the first 2 seasons. He's currently on that I Feel Bad show. It's in its first season. He was the titular son of Zorn. He's one of the nerds in what do you call it? Show about undercover cops in high school. It's the name of a road with a number. The average podcast host would Google this to figure it out for you, but I'm not that guy. 22 Jump Street. There we go. It's a remake. I got there. I figured it out. Didn't even have to Google it. Just had to kill about 30 seconds of second guessing myself. So there you go, everybody. Well, check out Johnny Pemberton if you got time. If you're into goofy, fun time, laughy, silly times, I imagine you'll love it. He was really cool. He gave me a shirt and a tape under the impression that I would Venmo him the money, which I did, but I didn't have any cash, and the merch table wasn't taking cards, so it's like, what do we do? So I Venmo'd him some cash. It was pretty cool. It was all right. It was humbling to meet him. I haven't met many of my idols, you know, and they say you're supposed to kill your idols, but I'm not gonna kill any of my idols. You know, like, yeah, no, not gonna kill Rory, not gonna kill Johnny, not gonna kill Burt Reynolds. Not gonna kill Bruce Campbell. I'm not gonna do it. You know, that's not what I'm gonna do. If Nike was like, just do it, I'd say, Nike, no, just don't ask me to do it again, because I'm not gonna kill my idols. I'm going to lift them up and under the hopes that, you know, maybe someday they swoop down like a majestic eagle and they grab me by the excess skin on the back of my neck like a mother cat does to a baby kitty and swoops me up and brings me to their nest of glory. And that's 2 different animal metaphors that are kind of tied into one. But a lot of times when you're in the middle of a metaphor, a good thing to do is to combine it with another metaphor to really just seal the deal and make sure everybody knows what you were talking about. It's chill though. It's chill. Everything's chill. That's the goal, right? We don't want our lives to be too up, too down. You know, just like the levels of my audio when I record this. I don't want to be up here and then down here and then up here. You know, I want to be nice and steady, calm. That's what you want. That's what I want from my daily life. It's what I strive for, you know. I've been taking active steps in my daily life to pay it forward and to treat the earth with more respect, because you're supposed to do that. I even contemplated voting, you know, and then I tried registering, and since I'm out of state, it took me too long. So I'll vote in 2 years or whatever, or next year if they do it on odd years. I don't really know how it works. I assumed it was on the same schedule as the Olympics, but who can really say? I don't know. I'm not proud that I didn't vote, you know. I think years ago, 2 years ago, even when the whole Donald Trump debacle went about, I was a bit braggadocious with the fact that I had abstained from voting, and some Twitter accounts and some people close to me, and Donald Trump being a big old grade A beanbag has made me realize the importance of my vote. So next year I'll do it. Next year, 2 years, whatever, whenever it is. But until then, I can do only what I can do, right? And I can improve life on a local level and like around me. And so I'm not gonna lie and say I've started picking up trash, but I've become a less angry driver, and I think that's a good step. I spend all day in my car delivering pizzas. And I guess the person who cuts you off is not going to let that ruin their day. And many times I have let people's driving mistakes and like what they do on the road really just sit with me all day. I'll get in my car and I hope I don't run into that idiot again. I hope everything's okay on the road and that dumb grade A idiot's not out. But I've gotten really good at like the minute that anger, that just annoyance pops up, I can shake it off and I can go, you know what? They're not thinking about it. No, don't waste your time on it. And I think that has translated into my life outside of my vehicle. And, I'm diving into conversations with clerks and baristas. And like, I did a Pepsi order on the phone today. I was talking to the Pepsi lady and we talked about water for like 10 minutes. I said, I'm a real waterhead, and we just chatted and we laughed and it was a blast. And I think because I'm cutting down my annoyance with drivers, I'm in some, I don't know, weird backwards osmosis or something. I'm not a scientist or a psychologist, but I'm becoming less annoyed with everybody else in my daily life, which is kind of cool. I got on two different coworkers' backs in the last 2 weeks. One of them said retard and one of them said fag, and I said, "Hey, you can't say those words unless you're using them as satire and really pointing out why you shouldn't be using those words." And I think they respected that. And then, I mean, they have not stopped using those words around me, and it's fine. It's freedom of speech, whatever. I'll keep reminding them as I have, but I don't know. I think if you voted or you didn't vote, and if you didn't vote, you probably don't care about people's well-being, or the world or politics don't affect you, and I get that. And this isn't a political podcast, so vote or don't vote, I don't care. Share the podcast. Don't share the podcast, you're dead to me. You know what I'm talking about. Just work on being a better person, I think it's all we can do. Focus on us, focusing on other people. And it's kind of cool when you start doing it. I think it rewards you. And I've seen that in my daily life a little bit as well. Like I cut out soda recently because I've been on this huge soda kick, right? And once I drink soda, it's like I got to drink a soda every day. And if I'm drinking a soda every day, I might as well drink the biggest soda I can drink every day. Oh man, it's like crack for me, I guess. I love drinking pop, but so I've been going to the coffee shop a lot more recently. And my coffee shop is a Caribou Coffee. It's local to Minnesota, I believe. I think it's some sort of local chain. And if you can't tell, I had an espresso like 2 hours ago, and I'm revved up. I'm revved up, baby. Because they do it right. They make really good coffee there. And so I generally go through the drive-thru, right? It's a bold choice to make in the morning because it's either I park, I walk in, I wait, I walk out, I leave. Or I sit in the line, I wait, I leave, So I've been doing the drive-thru, and that's been chill. I normally grab 2 coffees, one for me, one for my coworker, or oftentimes one for me on the way to work and then one while I'm at work. But I've been tipping the baristas pretty well, I guess. If I get a crafted beverage, I'm throwing them $2-3. There's a lot of people in there. They're always really busy and they always seem extra taken back, right? Like, oh, really? I should keep this? And normally I'll hand them like $3 extra and then they'll try and hand me back the change. They'll be like, oh, you paid me too much. No, idiot. I didn't reach into my wallet and grab an arbitrary number of money and hand it to you, hoping that I gave you enough for change. That's for you, homie. You made me that beverage. Hold on to it. Enjoy it. Buy yourself something nice. Split it with your coworkers, please. And for people out there who don't tip, that's a good way to just put some good karma into the world. Take your hard-earned cash and make somebody's day with it, Make somebody who's working for minimum wage plus tips, throw them a couple bucks. Give a homeless guy a pack of cigarettes wrapped in dimes, I don't know. Pay it forward. If you have it, pay it forward. And that's what I've been trying to do, right? So I've been hooking the baristas up. They still spell my name wrong, which is whatever, but it's like it's Sam. It's not that hard to spell. Most of the time they write ham, which is not untrue, I guess, because I'm kind of a ham. But you know what I mean? It's whatever. That's a coffee shop trope. They don't know names. They got great handwriting, don't know how to spell a name. But yesterday morning, I'm in the drive-thru and I'm on my way home and I'm grabbing coffee for myself and my roommate. And I'm like, hey, give me this coffee, give me that coffee. And not only did I get a free size upgrade, but I also got a free shot of espresso and $1 off. 3 different things on one order, right? Amazing. I get to the window and the lady's like, hey, actually the person ahead of you paid for your order and they wrote you this little note. And the note was a bit contrived. The note was a bit cliche. I'll be honest. If you're going to do something kind for someone behind you in a drive-thru, write something a bit cooler. Have a wonderful day, smiley face. Yeah, you got me. I did. It was great. Thank you. The coffee was awesome. My roommate appreciated it. He gave me $2 for it. I made money on that trip to Caribou. But man, bit cliche, bit on the nose. So, beautiful stranger, I want to thank you for buying myself and my homie coffee. I want you to know that your gesture did not go unnoticed. I turned that around. I bought the person behind me's coffee, which was amazing because they only got a small drip coffee. So I paid like $2. And I didn't write them a note because I wasn't feeling extra articulate. I was taken aback by the first person, doing that for me out of the blue and the karmic energy that was rewarding me, and maybe it's bad for me to bring this up, but I'm really just trying to share with y'all my life hacks. So I bought the person behind me coffee. I go to work that day. My first delivery, dude tips me an extra $10 because of my quote sick ass beard end quote. I can't make this stuff up, you guys. I can't. It's bonkers. Actually, I did make it up because it wasn't the morning of. I combined 2 stories. Okay, so 2 days later, guys, and I can't make this up. I just can't. 2 days later, this guy gives me an extra $10 tip because of my beard, right? Later that day, a lady gives me an extra $7 because I was friendly on the phone. And I don't know, it's not all about money, but it's kind of what drives our lives, We have to get a job so we can earn money, so we can pay for this stuff, whether we need it or we don't need it. I think if you've got it, help people out with it if you can. I don't know. And maybe that's just because I work in the industry. I've been tipping a lot at Papa Murphy's, right? So every Tuesday, Papa Murphy's has this deal where it's $10 for any large pizza you want, right? Bonkers. And I know I work at a pizza place, but I'm cutting down on eating pizza at work. I'm bringing my own lunch because I mean, Papa John's has never really been my favorite. And I'm saying that recording this in a Papa John's shirt and hat onto equipment that was bought with Papa John's money. So I do appreciate Papa John's, the company, not so much the guy, not so much the food. So I've been getting pizza on Tuesdays. I'll order the $10 pizza. I'll get a salad. I'll get a side, whatever, to share with the roommates. It's kind of a fun little Tuesday tradition, if you will. But and they're always busy because they have this Tuesday $10 special. So a bunch of young kids, all probably, 18 to 20. And oh man, I feel old calling them young. It's 7 to 5 years younger than me. Oh, did you hear that? Did you hear me take a drink of water? Who cares? You think I care? You ask me if I care. You can't, and I don't. What up? Gotcha. Zing, 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 bang, pow. So I'm sorry. I've been tipping the Papa Murphy's team, and honestly, like they're great. They're super busy. They're always really nice to me. They remember me. They're like, "What's up, Papa John?" Because I always go in my work uniform after work, and they hook it up, and it's been amazing. But when I tip them when I'm on my way out, they don't seem to like it, you know. And it makes me feel like I'm in a weird spot. I talked to my sister who owns a couple Papa Murphys, and she told me corporate doesn't allow tipping, so I'm putting them in a weird place, I guess. But I don't know. They're cool though. I like the way they do things there. A guy caught me in line tonight, right? And this is how I know I'm going down the right path. Guy cut me in line. He butted me in line at Papa Murphy's. It was like whatever. I was standing, I guess, a ways away from the person in front of me. Not like 4 feet, but like, I guess 4 feet would be an adequate distance. So maybe I was a little more than 4 feet away, but the guy just edged his way in there. And well, I don't care. I'm not gonna start an argument or anything. I'll have to wait an extra 2 minutes. Big whoop. Who cares? Nothing matters if those 2 minutes matter to you, you know? Nothing in this world means anything at all if you're worried about the 2 minutes that you're going to have to wait because somebody butted you in line, you know? You got to chill out. And like, you know, a couple minutes later, I'm hanging out waiting in line behind this guy who's been waiting there less time than I have. And the guy walks up and he's like, "Are you in line?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yes, sir, I am. That's how this works." And so he hops behind me. The line moves a little bit, and a new guy comes in, and he stands in front of the guy. He butts in front of the guy who butted, he butts in front of the guy who's behind me, right? Man, I wish I got all these guys' names so I could describe this better. So I realized at that moment, in that second, at that Papa Murphy's, I was so enlightened that like the guy who butted behind me got a talking to from the guy he butted in front of, right? The guy who got butted in front of, and this is all behind me, I don't care. He had the tenacity, he had the audacity, he had the grande huevos to tap this man on the shoulder, say, "Excuse me, there's a line. I'm in it." I don't think this guy spoke English because he just smiled and nodded, right? So this guy, he says, "Excuse me, I was in line before you, sir. There's an order." And I'm just like, "Okay, dude, chill out. We're all getting our pizza. You guys walked in like at the same time. He's barely whatever." And so the guy again, he's like, "Excuse me, sir." And at that point, like, "Yo, what up? What can I do for you, gentlemen?" And this old dude, this guy in his 50s was like, "Could you tell this gentleman that I was behind you in line?" Okay, dude. Weird thing for you want me to tell this other grown ass dude that he budged you in line, that he's gonna delay your evening for 2 minutes? Are you a doctor? Are you on your way to surgery? Well, you're not gonna get your pizza until after surgery then anyway, idiot. You gotta cook it. It's Papa Murphy's. You're not a doctor. You can't be mad about anything. So, that being said, I was like, "Sir, there's a queue. You know, I'm French. You can tell by my accent. The gentleman that's behind you currently, at one point was behind me before you were here. So you're gonna." And the guy's just like, "Oh yeah." You know, he in case you couldn't hear me, I just said, "Oh yeah," and then I politely nodded and moved behind the other guy. And it was just so awesome to like, I don't know. I felt real good in that moment, like knowing that I'm very petty about a lot of things, but this was not one of them, and that feels like I'm growing up. Feels like I'm growing up a little bit. That being said, I'm not. I never will. I'm gonna be young forever. Yeah, high school rules. I don't know. I'm gonna be young forever. I pull pranks at work. I have a lot of fun, right? So like I get back. I have this coworker, Rose. I just learned her name is Rosalind, and she goes by Rose, but a lot of people call her Roz, so I've started calling her that. She's like in her 50s. We work together 5 days a week. It's fun. We have fun. She has a blast like hiding in the walk-in cooler and scaring me. And I have a blast making fun of her because she's old and like kind of bad at the job and doesn't know how to answer phones and stuff. And it's just a general old person. I don't know. We have fun. I asked her how she would describe my my comedy, and she said bad and hard to understand. So safe to say she's a fan of the podcast. I get back from a delivery, right, and she smacks me, and I'm like, first of all, that's harassment. She's like, why'd you put chocolate in my soda? It's like, first of all, why are you drinking grape soda as an adult? That's a bad choice. She's like, shut up. Why'd you put a candy bar in my chocolate soda? Or in my soda? And I'm like, do I look like the type of person who's going to waste chocolate on a prank? And if so, if you answer yes, you know it's gonna be a poop related prank, and that chocolate bar would have been slid underneath you before you sat down or molded into a turd shape before put into your soda. So let's backtrack. Let's talk about this. And like, I wanted to admit to it because it was funny. It made me laugh really hard because A, you've got a grown woman drinking grape soda. B, somebody put a chocolate bar, like a mini fun-sized Hershey's bar, fully wrapped in her soda. So it's funny. And I want to take credit, but I don't, because I'm not a prank theft. I'm not a prank thief. Yeah, I'm not gonna steal pranks. I'm not a YouTuber. Shots fired, I guess. So I go, yo, Dustin, to my boss. Yo, did you put a chocolate bar in Rose's drink? And he's like, no. Is that a euphemism? I'm like, no. Get out of here. Now it turned into sexual harassment. You made this weird, Dustin. None of this happened, except for the chocolate and the soda thing. So I'm like, Dustin, did you do this? He says, no. I'm like, all right, this is crazy. He's like, did you do it? And I'm like, no. I know it seems like something I would do, but I didn't do it. And so we think about it, and there was a guy working on our ovens today, and I was like, yo, maybe he did it. Maybe he just had something against Rose, which I get, maybe he hates old people. Maybe he wanted to give you chocolate. A lot of people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Dogs can't eat chocolate. People mess up metaphors all the time. I've done it once today on this podcast. And so we talk about it. What did the oven repairman do it? And the more we talked about it, the less motive he had, which, makes sense. Why would this random guy who's just doing his job come in, drop a little chocolate treat into a grape treat? And so I figure, like, we had Halloween candy at the store, and it got transferred from a pumpkin bucket to a cup when the pumpkin bucket was, vastly oversized for the amount of candy in it. So I'm thinking Rose goes in, she grabs a cup for her soda, goes to get her soda. The cup she grabbed had the last piece of candy in it. She pours her cup of soda. Case closed. She doesn't believe it, though. There's no way she says that she poured a grape soda into a cup with a piece of chocolate in it. So I'm being blamed. I know I didn't do it. She believes me that I didn't do it, but we still don't know how it got in there. And so I'm like, maybe it was a ghost, or like, did you do anything with chocolate in a past life? Over Halloween, did you not give kids chocolate, trick-or-treaters? And what's the deal with the grape soda? Why are you still drinking grape soda as an adult? The only thing worse would be if you were drinking strawberry soda with a straw. It's, I don't know, grape, strawberry, or I think orange soda is fine if you're an adult. But honestly, now that I'm 3 days soda free, why is any adult drinking soda? You know, we don't need that stuff. We crave it. It gets the juices flowing. So Rose says to me, she says, it's not a ghost. I'm like, okay, it's not a ghost. It's not me. It's not Dustin. It's probably not the oven guy. If it was, we'll never figure that out. So I say, Rose. I say to Rose, I say, can you see the tip of your nose? And sure enough, she says no. I go, okay, I think I've solved it. I think I've solved the case. Mind you, I'm not a detective, nor am I what you would call traditionally smart. So say, Rose, can you cross your eyes? Can you see the tip of your nose? She goes, she tries crossing her eyes. Hilarious. She says, no. I'm like, all right. Is there a chance that it's been sitting on the tip of your nose since Halloween and it's just been balancing there and no one's noticed it until you went to take a drink and you just tilted up a little bit and it bloop, just plopped in there and that's when you noticed it? And she hit me again. My coworker hit me again because that's a dumb suggestion and a question. And I was told there's no such thing as a dumb question, you know? I learned that in Even Stevens, and then Louis Stevens, portrayed by the famous Shia LaBeouf, says, what if a chicken had lips? Could it whistle? And that, my friend, has haunted me since probably like age 11. If a chicken had lips, could it whistle? A lot of birds cheep. They tweet. They whistle. Do chickens whistle? Some birds can whistle without lips. Some birds can fly. Some birds can't fly. All birds have wings. Some birds can fly underwater. You know, some birds can swim. It's crazy. All sorts of things that birds can do. So I don't know if you'll be able to tell in the final edit of this bad boy, but there's a moment there where I was getting an echo on the on my audio in, so I had to just kind of like shut the computer down, let it cool off, shut the mixer down, you know, just in case that's, you know, whatever is whatever, and gave it about 8-10 minutes. Tweeted out to the constituents, the Salsa Dave constituents. If you're looking for a fun follow on Twitter, check out Salsa_Dave. If you're looking for a fun follow on Instagram, check out Salsa Dave 23. You know, I guess I'll just plug my social media in the middle of the show instead of at the end. So I put a question out to the followers, and I think I'm going to do this every week. I'm just going to say, hey, do you have any questions that you want answered on the podcast? And I'll answer them live. So I don't have any questions yet, but I got my phone sitting here. I got a little timer set for 20 minutes. And if I get any tweets asking questions, I will do my best to answer them. So what else, man? There's tons of questions that I need answered in my daily life. The most recent one, my little production company that I'm a part of, Broken Yoke, we're trying to figure out when we're going to film our next film. It's that little hair horror piece that I wrote. Was supposed to film in, what was it, late September, and then the effects guy's girlfriend got into a car accident, you know, the week before filming, and he didn't tell me until the day of filming, and so we weren't able to film, but looks like we're going to be filming in December. And so we got that going on, trying to get the team all back together. We're going to buy a camera for our production company, and, you know, that's been a big choice. We had a nice little chat about it. Eric, my partner in this business, he knows more about the specs than I do. Said a bunch. I feel like I say and like, and I use filler words when I'm trying to talk normal and be interesting, or not be interesting, but be real and straightforward, there it is again. If I'm doing a character, if I'm doing some sort of bit, I never run out of things to say because it's always so dumb, and I can say it whenever I want, however I want. Nobody can do nothing about it. It's that easy. It's not even that hard. Anybody can do it. But talking about your true feelings, saying what's on your mind, trying to get across something serious, it's back. It's tough. And maybe not for everybody, but for me, for the kind of guy who has avoided seriousness his entire life, I'd rather not be serious at all, but no one will take you seriously then. And I just want to be taken seriously as someone who doesn't take anything seriously. And if you can't take me seriously, then I can't be taken serious. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's tough. It's tough. My dad always used to say, hey, if you never take anything seriously, no one will take you serious. And to that, I say, Dad, you're absolutely right. And I'm crushing it. I don't know. We're trying to figure out what kind of camera we're going to buy. And that is, it's a unique experience because he and I both want different things from this company. He wants to do commercial work and, shoot people's projects and direct people's projects and just kind of help our buddies' projects come to life. And I'm all for that. But I also I want to create as much content as possible, which is why I still do this podcast every week. I want to create lo-fi sketches and just throw them on YouTube once a week. And so I've been putting a lot of those down on paper. So once we have this camera, we'll be able to just bang, bang, zip, 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 lights, camera, action, or whatever. I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight, y'all. It's like 10:30 right now. I am off the walls. I gotta stop getting coffee at 8 o'clock at night with an extra shot of espresso. It's not a good move. It's not the smartest thing a boy can do. And so for what I need out of this camera and this company is people who want to work for free and want to create comedy and a camera that'll do it. That is user friendly. I don't need all the bells and whistles. I need a camera and I need a zoom lens. What Eric the homie is looking for is a higher quality camera for commercial product and for like narrative short films, something that looks as good as it can. And I'm not against that by any means, but if we could get a full setup for under $1,000, which is not going to be the best camera in the world, but it's going to be a good one to start on. I think that's and we kind of agreed on that it's better for us to buy our first camera and have it be something cheap to learn on versus, each spending 3 months of our paychecks on a camera that, is going to be too hard to learn. So I think we've kind of narrowed it down to a few different ones, and at least we have a better idea of where we're going to start with that. And the cheaper you go with the body, the more lenses you can get. And it's all about the lenses, baby. They say filmmaking and cinematography is a lot like cool sunglasses in that if you have good framing and great lenses and a good eye, it'll be a perfect. And everybody says that. It's said throughout the industry. It's said not only in the film industry, and when I say the industry, I'm talking about film, entertainment, podcasts, that type of thing. But I'm sure people in the glasses, like optometrists and the sweet ladies at oh man, I wish I could remember their names. At Brookings Optical, where I got like all my glasses growing up, like those ladies were great, and they probably refer to their industry as the industry. I mean, they're wrong. There's one industry and it's entertainment business, and it's the industry because it's the only industry that everybody truly uses and loves and needs. And I see you, big water, looking at me. I see you, big water industry. People need entertainment more than they need water. I would die. I would literally die, bro, if I didn't have entertainment for 3 days. I could make it 100 days without water because I'll just drink that sweet, sweet soda. That soda crack. It's so good, dog. I don't know. I think comedy is the source of life. I think entertainment is the breath beneath my wings. And it's my life sustenance, you know. It's what I want to do. It's why I'm doing this. It's a bonkers world we live in, though, y'all. It is bonkers. I don't know. You guys ever find yourself walking around just kind of minding your own business, just I don't know, doing whatever you need to do, just kind of focusing on you, moving about throughout the day, just kind of, and then you end up in a cave and you don't know how you got there. And there's water dripping and you don't know what's going on. And it's like you just figured out how to use a different part of your recording software. And is that are those glowing eyes? Is that some sort of creepy crawly? What is that over there? Oh, it's just two little puddles reflecting the light. The light? Where's that light coming from? Where? Oh, it's coming from above. It's coming from a hole the size of a smaller man. And I hear water dripping, but I don't see water. I don't know what I'm going to drink while I'm in here. There's no Wi-Fi. Oh, I don't know what kind of entertainment I'll have. I honestly don't know how long I'll survive. Oh man. I could turn around and I could come in the way, but I was just so lost in my thoughts. I didn't know. I didn't pay attention to where I was going. I was, with Thanksgiving coming up, I was so focused on those breadcrumbs. I couldn't wait for stuffing. I just ate all the breadcrumbs, and I didn't leave a trail behind me. Oh no. I don't know what to do. What is that? Hello? What's that sound? Hello? Adam Sandler, is that you? Adam. All right. This is dumb. All right, we're back. We're back. I was just playing around there. If you stuck with me through that idiotic piece of the brain, word vomit, thank you. Welcome back. I was pretending that I fell into a hole, but then it turned into a cave before I got to saying I was in a hole. And then I was going to turn it into talking about Adam Sandler's comedy special. But I'm just not very good at moving on my feet, and I just figured out how to use this really cool part of the program that I record on, and I just absolutely love it. And if you just heard a tiny tick, it's because I hit the microphone on my big buck tooth. And it's super cool, and it's really fun to do, and I hope to get better at using this. But so y'all know I'm a Sandler fan. I've talked about him a couple times. I love the Sandman as much as I love Sticks, and I love Sticks, bro. For sure, some of his, like some of his movies have not been the best. Like Jack and Jill was a hot pile of garbage. That being said, Netflix, Hollywood, you want to pay me to write a movie where I play myself and the female version of myself? I will do it in a heartbeat, and the one stipulation is I will not shave to play the female version of myself. I will not shave. Hollywood, bigwigs, I will not shave to play the female version of myself. That's a promise. Oh, man, this is going to get really dumb. On Johnny Pemberton's podcast, the guy I was talking about earlier, he goofs around with the noise a lot, and so I thought I might try and figure out how he does it and how it works. And I kind of figured it out. And I'm not actually making my voice higher. I'm just talking higher, and it's all really cool. It's really neat. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So I want to figure it out, and I kind of have, and I think there's an easier way to do it and a more fluid way to do it. So I'm going to work on that a little bit. But I'm a big fan of Sandler. I love his comedy albums. They're All Gonna Laugh at You is one of the greatest records of all time. You know, Lunch Ladyland. It's great. Billy Madison. I did a script. You know, I analyzed that script for a class. Happy Gilmore is whatever. That movie's pretty good. Waterboy. Like, I'm not super into the Sandler playing character shtick. Like, I think Little Nicky would have been way better if he dropped his like contorted face and raspy voice. You know, but that's just me. You know, I love bedtime stories. Not only like when people read them to me or tell me them before I go snooze fest, but the film that he's in with Kerry Russell and those two kids and the gumballs that fell from the sky. Adam Sandler, if I can accomplish 1/100th of what he has accomplished in my lifetime, I will have been a success. And a lot of people hate on him, and he's easy to make fun of, you know, low-hanging fruit and all that, but he's a good dude, you know. From what I understand, he's been loyal to his friends. He's been loyal to his wife. You know, he's never been in any trouble for that. You know, he's not like a lot of other people in Hollywood. Seems like a great guy. And watching his new special on Netflix, this is so amazing, guys. Like, it was so funny. If you like anything Adam Sandler has ever done, check that out. It definitely inspired me. It made me like, I'm writing this dumb EP, right? Like a musical EP. And I really want to film a documentary around the recording process and just kind of make it like this multimedia platform, I guess. Not platform, but like a multimedia project where it's music, there's music videos, there's a narrative, you know, there's maybe a pseudo narrative documentary. I don't know. But I'm really excited. And so seeing this show, which I think it was filmed live like 30 or 40 times at different venues. And so they cut to all these different places. And he goes from playing a 30,000 person arena to like a 200 person tiny room, like the room that he started at. And then cut to like him performing at a mall, you know, in disguise. And I don't know, guys, if any part of you, if you've liked anything he's ever done, I think that's the best comedy special of the year. I'm looking at you, John Mulaney, Kid Gorgeous. I'm looking at you, Hannah Gadsby, Nanette, Adam Sandler's 100% Fresh. I think that's the title. Best comedy special of the year. If Rory Scovel doesn't put one out in the next 35 days, 55 days, I don't know how many days are left in the year, Sandler's taking it. I don't see anybody taking the crown from that guy. And what's cool is I don't see him putting out another one anytime soon. You know, like, we know we're gonna get another Mulaney special. This Nanette special for Hannah Gadsby, like, really, really blew her up. You know, like in a good way. Like, good for her. Wasn't really comedy, but that's my perspective and my, I don't know, my taste in comedy. If you're into Nanette, whatever. Not my style. I prefer to see grown people do silly goof around goofball activities, and I hope that's what you like. If you don't, I don't know why you're here. I don't know why you've paid attention to this for this long. I don't know if you'll be back. I know that I appreciate you listening. I appreciate your feedback. Unfortunately, I did not get any questions from the Twitter poll, which it's a bit disheartening. I guess I don't reach. Yeah, I only reach like what? 20, 300. Let's see. Actually, look at it. 288 followers. Oh boy, I've gone downhill. I've lost a couple. That's all right. I want to thank you guys for listening. I'm going to leave you with an Adam Sandler track that I love. I haven't decided if I'm going to do the Adam Sandler version or, you know what? I'm making the decision now. I'm going to play the level up version of Somebody Kill Me Please, because they're one of my favorite bands and they broke up, and Sandman's one of my favorite comics, and I don't think he'll be putting out anything but narrative feature films anytime soon. So with that being said, check me out on Twitter, salsa_Dave, Instagram, salsa Dave 23_23. I can never remember that one. It's so similar to the other ones, but with a number. Do whatever you want. Be good to people. Enjoy the day, and we'll catch you next time, eggheads. Bye.